What we have here is some older humbuckers. These are PAF bobbins. Looks like the PAF long magnet, but it's a patent number decal. So this is somewhere later 60s. But yeah, these are before T-tops. This is the old PAF style bobbin. And it has no ohm reading. So we're going to go ahead and try to figure out what's going on with it. The first thing I'm going to do is try to get to the center wire where they go in series and find out which coil's bad. I hope they're not both. This tape has been hot because it's very crusty. I may be able to reuse it, I may not, but we'll save it. Okay, these two wires are outside of both coils. So we'll measure from there to ground and from there to hot. Okay, from that center to hot, I get nothing. Both coils are dead. This thing must have been sweated on a lot. But my meter's definitely still working. They're both dead. I might want to call this customer, make sure they are aware they've got two dead coils. These don't peel as well as Strats, because if sweat got on this pickup and got in that hole, where it damaged the wires way down towards the center of the coil. We'll find out the second one. This one might have grown up in Louisiana or someplace with a lot of humidity. Oh, we got a working coil here. From center to ground is 3.5857. From center to hot is the open one. So let's attack this one first because we have a working coil. I'm going to take this apart. We're going to take just the slug coil off.
This is maybe the next pickup.
Does it seem like a longer lead? It does.
Yeah. I'll put about 7K or so in series if their coil is similar.
And that tape is stuck together. Good, it came.
Can't believe the tape is still sticky.
It's a better quality tape than we can buy today. Okay, we're going to unsolder. This wood piece came off. We'll just put that back there with those. Alright, here's our two wires. Can't hurt to test it one more time, but we're not going to get any overreading. Yeah, it's still open. Okay, we'll take this tape off and hopefully we can reuse it. Often it's not reusable. That's tearing. I think it might get some. If we get one wrap, we can at least cover the outside with original tape. Okay, I will put that aside and we'll try to reuse that. Most of these, black was the start wire, white was the outside. Let's see if black disappears under the coil. Yes, it does. So that was the start wire disappearing right there. They're both still attached, so it's worth a try to see if either these solder joints are what's bad. I'm going to guess it's rust, but it can't hurt to try. It's still attached, but I can't hurt. Try. And that didn't fix it. Let's try the same on the other one. Anytime we can fix them, we will.
Will you peel these? Or
if they don't fix with these solder joints, we'll peel it a little bit just to illustrate how it's done, but
they don't peel easy.
With the hole in the top, if it was sweat or corrosion that killed this, then the damage won't be on the outside where the tape was touching. It'll be somewhere way down in the middle.
Right.
Doing these solder joints is always worth trying. No, that didn't fix it. Okay, well, we know that's the inside and this is the outside. So let's pull some and break this off of here. Let's peel a little bit and see what we get. I don't think it's going to break. The damage is way down whatever corrosive got down in that hole,
Yeah.
corroded it way down in the middle somewhere.
Not all PAFs had covers on them.
Well, they did.
But people
See, there's solder down here on the base plate. That once had a cover. People took them off because they knew it made it pick up a little bit brighter, or they liked the way someone looked on
Right.
their guitar with no cover. I don't think this is going to break and fix. That tape protected the outside of the coil nicely, but we're not getting anywhere peeling this. I have peeled them before just to see how the whole pickup was layered, but it takes about an hour.
Is there much to learn about the Gibson ones?
Early on, I wanted to know how many turns per layer was there. They're machine wound, so they're all exactly 100 turns each direction, or 200 turns for a whole round trip up and down. And these are not going to peel and repair. We're going to go ahead and take this apart and wind it. The way I take the wire off is with a chisel. Here's where you can see that this is a PAF coil. Can you see that serial number? Say CF100. It's kind of wavy, but it's a CF100-2. So this is a real PAF mold anyway, even though it's being used well into the 60s. A lot of these have closed down, like the last humbucker we just did. So let's see if this one's supposed to be 250, quarter of an inch. Yeah, we're not going to wind this today. Yeah, that's down to 240. So we're going to put some wood in this and stretch it out for a little bit. Where did I put those pieces of magnet material? Perfect. So these magnets are just over 250. Let them sit in there a couple days and hopefully it'll stretch that plastic back out. Ready for winding. That looks good. We got no obstacles inside there, so let's get this ready to wind. These heart cams determine how far this goes back and forth. I'm taking the one that used to be Telly Bridges off, and we're going to put one on it that's 4 humbuckers. This is a heart cam. This was single poly nylon. We're going to measure the working coil and try to match it. 380, that's going to be 5,200. Both these wires come out the outside of the coil, so my start wire just comes out of under everything else. This one needs a really neat back and forth. These pickups did not have actual slop in them, but I do have to keep adjusting this. I just moved it to the left because get an end view. You see that the coil is bigger on the right side than the left.
Yeah.
So that's why I just moved this to the left a little bit. We'll stop it a few times till it starts winding perfect.
But they didn't have to guide the wire, right? Because all their machines were...
I think their machines were like this.
Yeah.
Automatic traverse, mechanical traverse.
So the mismatched PAF coils that people will talk about is just a product of not paying attention, you know,
Yeah.
them talking with
No
them.
one cared at Gibson. As long as the pickup worked, they didn't care if it was 7.5 or 8.2 or...
So would you call this a PAF or like PF
No, it's
era?
called a patent number decal.
Okay.
And I'm going to strip this. Well, parts are still PAF parts,
Yeah.
but you can't call it a PAF because it's...
Because not applied, they accepted the patent. And
Yeah, and by the time this was made, they probably had turn counters that did stop the machine, so pickups were much more consistent. PAFs, anything made in the 50s up to about 63 were more randomly wound. But once the turn counters like I use it with a relay in them came along, you could get up and walk away from the machine if everything was looking good. Everyone bought them immediately. Now we're going to assemble this one. This is the one that had a working coil, and we were shooting to match it as close as possible. It was 3.7, so we did 3.71. This wooden piece goes right here. Keep that thing from rocking. Usually they're white to white, so we will do that. White being the outside of both coils. I will test real quick. We should have 0.6 and 736. Perfect. Make sure the phase is right.
people were asking about this trick. Can you explain it a bit more?
Yes. We've got it hooked up to a meter, and when there's no steel moving nearby, it's reading 736. If you take something made of steel and watch what happens to the coil as you lift it, this one's going higher than 7, going metering up as I lift it. Both coils do it. That's how you check polarity with an ohmmeter and a screwdriver. You always want to keep black on the meter to ground on the pickup, or else you're reversing it yourself there. Okay, these old ones, this was tucked in between the two coils like this. And this one goes to here. Now we'll put some thicker black tape across the end. All right, we're ready to put the covers on this.
And this is just purely aesthetic, right? That's why they did it.
Well, covers protect them. That is why they did it early on, but once Gibson realized people were taking the covers off, they stopped putting them on all of them. They still put them on plenty, but they realized people like uncovered pickups. The old nickel silver one, which is what these are, don't do any harm to the tone. And these were made of brass, is when people objected to them. And certainly we'll test it one more time. Yep. Okay, that one's ready to go back in the baggie. These are new covers going on this pickup, but that's what the gentleman wanted.